Okay, good point.
It's negative though.
Good point. The only thing that tells you which way is going is which one is positive and which one is negative. These will determine the shape of your box.
So which one's first? Not the absolute value.
The one that comes first.
The one, it depends on how you write it.
Because the one that comes last is negative.
Jan, on the test, if I write this as negative y squared over 16 plus x squared over y, if I switch the order of the terms, that won't change the graph at all. So it's whichever comes first if you're writing plus then minus. Okay, but it's really whichever one's positive and whichever one's negative determines which way it goes.
So that's x dominant.
Yes, x dominant. Is that how Mr. Singer described it?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is x dominant, x is first, but the shape of the box will determine how shallow or narrow or wide the wings are. Okay, so that's really the only thing this b squared gives you is the height of the box, and that's why I'm going to make you follow the asymptotes. Draw the dotted lines and follow them. Because if I change b, it changes the height of the box, which will change the angles or slopes of the lines, which will change the shallowness or wideness of the hyperbola. And I want you to get a feel for how wide the wings are. So these two numbers really determine the shape of your wings, whether they're skinny and narrow or way out wide. But the x squared being positive makes it x dominant, which I'll start using instead of horizontal and vertical. Okay? Any questions on this? Pardon?
X dominant sounds better.
Does. Okay, so we've got our intercepts, which I'm going to label as 3, 0, negative 3, 0.
So in this case, you're always going to have your x come, whichever one comes first in that order.
As long as you write it positive then negative. Remember, this is the exact same hyperbola as negative y squared over 16 plus x squared over 9 equals 1.
So if you go positive to negative, then okay.
Whichever one comes first tells you which axes you're intercepting. X dominant is your guys' word for it, which I'm starting to like. What haven't I done yet?
Okay.
Foci. So in this case, c squared equals a squared, which is 9, plus b squared, which is 16. C squared equals 25. So c equals plus or minus 5. I like using 3, 4, 5 for this, for early examples. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's a foci at the point 5, comma 0. Here's another foci at the point negative 5, comma 0. Yes?
Are foci always in an order pair that has 0 in it? Like,
No, well, if it's centered at the origin, yes. Once we move off the origin, then no.
Let's say this is not the origin, then would it be like, how do we know what the
They're the same
5
distance from the center.
But what would the other term be that would have been 0?
Oh, well, in this case, there's a lot of conditions to this, but if we stick with an x-dominant example, then something being subtracted or added to the y will move it up or down. And whatever is added or subtracted to the y will be the opposite of the y term, because it's counterintuitive shift now. So if this were y minus 4, that would move everything up 4. This would be 5, comma 4. I just count every time. I don't try to remember a rule like that. But that rule would work. But then remember, this is an x-dominant one. If I make it a y-dominant one, then you're thinking the same way about the x's. So that's why I like to
Count.
I really don't like to... there's too much that I can change to make it worth memorizing one thing for me.
You forgot the last step.
You
What
should
was the
make.
last step?
Erasing the red dots.
I don't mind leaving them there. I really don't.
You should
Pisses me off!
Alright.
You
Sorry.
should make like a little like cross for the foci, because they just look like points.
Well, I
Cross. An X marks.
we'll make them asterisks if that'll be... I have no issue with that.
I
Yeah,
have an
now
issue
it looks
with
like a
that.
foci.
Pisses me off too!
Well, I'd rather offend Ramsey than Albus. It's more entertaining that way. Pardon?
No last name.
That's right. Okay,
Well, my last name is
okay, now,
or Punjab.
now we're going to move to...
Wait, it's minus Sanchez.
Alright, now, guys, I'm going to do, for this one I'm going to change two things. I'm going to make it off-center and I'm going to make it y-dominant. Okay?
What? You're gonna what?
I'm going to make it y-dominant and I'm going to have the center not be at the origin.
That's not cool. That's too
that's
much.
mean.
I think you can handle it. I have faith in you.
Oh, it's not yours.
So y minus 3 squared
Dios míos.
over, this will not be perfect square no matter what I do, so over 36 minus x plus 2 squared over 144
You didn't give this one a heading.
equals 1.
I'm not serious.
Example. There you go. Now it has a heading.
That's the title.
All right.
106.
Okay. Y minus 3 quantity squared over 36 minus x plus 2 squared over 144 equals 1.
Graph this one.
Is that 10 times fast?
No. So,
No, I can't graph it, or no, you're not going to say it 10 times.
I'm not going to say it 10 times fast. Okay, so where's my center?
6,
3, -2.
comma,
3 comma negative 2. Both the x and y shifts are counterintuitive now. Like we discussed about how non-functions work yesterday, you always take the opposite of your shift as long as it's inside the
and
parentheses with squared.
with the other one, it was only with the ovals,
Ellipses.
ellipses.
Yes.
It was, which one was counterintuitive? And which
No,
one
not
was-
with parabolas. With functions, the x was counterintuitive, the y was intuitive. But with ellipses, they were both counterintuitive as well.
Right.
Anytime it's not in the form of a function, f of x equals or y equals. It's not.
Shiver.
Okay, let's go ahead and find where the foci will be. How far the foci will be. For the foci, c squared equals a squared plus b squared. So c squared is going to equal 36 plus 144, which is 180. That's annoying. So c is plus or minus square root of 180, which is the square root of 9 times 20, so it's 9 times 4 times 5. So that's 6 root 5. If I take out the 3 and the 2 and multiply them together. Plus or minus. So that's going to be root 5 is about 2 point something, so that's going to be
12.
12-ish, 12 point something. 12, no. Between 12 and
13.
What are you
14.
talking about?
between 12 and 18 is all we really know. Because 6 times 2 would be
Or
12.
we could
6
plug
times
it
3.
into our
13.
calculators.
So, pardon?
13.4.
All right, so it's 13 point something. Not going to worry about it that much. Okay, now,
Really?
okay, where's the center I said? 3, negative 2. There's my center. My A and my B. Okay, now, in this case, the role of A and B you have to be careful with here. I don't always label them the same way, because what I want you to remember is the one that determines how far you go left and right is under the X. The one that determines how far you go up and down is under the Y. So how far am I going up and down?
6.
6, not 36. Okay, so I go up 1, 2. So this will take me to the point, and double check that I've done this correctly,
4.
3 comma 4.
Yeah.
Good. And this will take me to the point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, negative 8.
Yep.
All right. Alba and I agree. Is everyone double checking us?
Yeah, man.
All right. Now, next up is 12 side to side. So from 3 I go out 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then down 2. So that's the point 3, negative 2. Part of my hyperbola is going to be over here.
I don't have room in my paper.
I don't have enough room on my board.
What,
Told you that.
what is that? That's
My-
3, negative 2.
I'm sorry, that's 15.
Oh.
Negative
let's
2.
say.
Yeah, good catch.
Are you going to supply rulers on these tests?
Yes.
Are you
and
going to supply graph paper? perhaps?
yes.
Okay.
And 12 in this direction from here will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So from 3, 12 over should be 9.
Sweet.
Thank you,
But,
boss.
hang on.
Please double check me. Did I go 12 correctly in both
Yeah.
directions?
Mr.
Yeah.
Bellowdown?
Yes.
This is kind of. Wait. Then minus 3 is next to the y, right? So you should have gone up for the center, you should have gone like. You said it was counterintuitive, so you go up 3 and then to the x.
No, this part's not counterintuitive. Where the center is counterintuitive.
Yes, but. So why is the center.